Peace. This is Jules Apothecary and Walking Medicine. So much to share. I just returned from a trip 30 days around the world. What is so crazy, it was my dream and I didn't plan it. And I know you hear that. I know people say that corny shit and you're like, well, what do you mean you didn't plan it? I had a family wedding to go to in India and I was so excited to do that. And I only had a one-way ticket there. I was traveling with beloved family, and we finally got to the end of the wedding, and it was like, okay, a day of rest, and we should probably start to look at like where we're going next. We'd been there about 8 days, and it was like, and how to get home. I didn't have to be home for literally like 3 more weeks, and so it was like, how to do that? How to like just start to think, is there any way, like maybe I want to go here to this next country and it's not too far away, and maybe I would love to see this before I go back home, and am I able to do this at the right time in the right place with this right synergy, and I can make it happen, and it's not going to cost me the same as what it would if I fly home direct to the United States. It was like being in flow. And the biggest thing that I learned from India was just that, really what flow means. And this is, again, not that corny stuff. The traffic pattern in Pune, India, where I was, flowed in both directions, one ways. And people, so much traffic and so much, not bumper to bumper, just flowing streams of traffic, whether it was motorcycles, scooters, rickshaws, cabs, cars, normal cars, just flowed. And there wasn't a lot of stop signs or stop lights. It just seemed like never ending, like canals, almost like your vein structure, right? Like of flow. And then if a person wanted to go, if that one-way direction, but wanted to get to a spot somewhere up there, they would just literally go the opposite way from the one way. And you might get a beep or a honk, but people just moved. They weaved. People would cross these busy 3, like lanes, let's say. There weren't actually lines, but 3 lanes of traffic going, and would cross and weave with rice on their head, or with like carrying things, and without barely even looking. Everyone was 100% present when driving or when weaving across the traffic to the next side of the street. And the first day I was there and I went through it, it pissed me off. I was like, what the hell is this? I'm trying to cross the street and it would never end. The traffic would never end. It would never slow down, barely a pause. And I would see other people weaving across and being like, how do they do it so effortlessly? And it just pissed me off. Like, this is so dangerous. Why am I in a situation like this? Where's the structure? Where's that United States order? I wanted it. And it pissed me off, and I was angry and frustrated, Why? So the next day, I watched it, and I just watched it. And I was like, here comes somebody up a one-way street. The traffic's going this way, and sure enough, this car's coming here, and there's a motorcycle going this way, going up. And I'm like, no rules. And I'm like, wow, there's no rules. There's no police. There's no order, really. Because if you want to go up a one-way street, heck, people are doing it. And I'm like, this is really flow. And then I'm like, wow, they have to be so present. And then I'm watching people cross, and they just cross. And the traffic, maybe a beep here or there, like not a long beep. It was just beep, 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 almost like yeah, like a ping pong. And people just continue. They slow down a little bit when someone's crossing the street. They maybe go around them. They don't let it interrupt their flow. There's momentum and everything just moves. And being in a place like that, I realized that everyone was accepted in a way, and everyone that had a want or desire was able to have that. There wasn't a lot of aggression. Every once in a while, you get a roller with like a BMW or a Mercedes or something, and would lay on the horn. But I think I saw that once, maybe twice in 8 days, like where you were like, okay, we hear you, you know? It was more this universal language that was flowing, accepting, very divine feminine energy, and very present. There weren't accidents. You didn't see violence. You didn't see aggression. It just moved. And then sometimes there'd be bottlenecks, and maybe there would be a lot of traffic, and it would be consolidating down into a smaller, narrow area. And people would just be in that line of traffic. It was amazing to witness flow, to experience weaving and having the trust, even on a one way, to not forget to look the other way, because somebody could be coming, and it happened every single time I crossed the street. Somebody would be coming the opposite direction, and I just had to be aware and just go ahead and be like, okay, I'm walking out. And sure enough, traffic would move around you, and I could move, and they could move, and we all moved together in our own way. So now I'm back in the States, and I start to go out in traffic and cross the street, and I don't have this fear. It's not like, oh my gosh, I just trust. It's like that same flow, that same energy, that same momentum is with me because I'm in presence and I'm on point. It's not that I don't look. I look, but I still keep moving, and I trust that they're going to see me. Of course, if a car is coming out right here, I'm not going to step into it. There is a space where I'll step in. But it's really interesting when you trust and you surrender and you work into the present moment. Do that with me now. Where can you let go enough of that order and that structure and that systematic way that's been conditioned into our system, into our livelihood, that when you don't have it, it pisses you off and you try to grab it? Think about that in your life. What are you trying to grab? What are you trying to resist? What are you trying to force? You can have it. It's just about trusting and weaving. Breathe in. Let that diaphragm expand. It actually gets longer, you know? And then when you exhale and everything contracts, it actually gets shorter. Breathe in. If it feels good, put your hand on the diaphragm where the split is here in your rib cage, and breathe out. Let that diaphragm come back in. And what it does is it presses up into the lungs so the lungs can completely deflate. Inhale. So my belly is rising here, and the diaphragm is going long so that the air can actually fill up in this whole region, front, back, and sides. Exhale. It compresses back in really subtly. Just a flow of breath. We often don't think about this diaphragmic breathing. Our diaphragm always is in use. It always works if we're breathing. But sometimes we fall out of that natural rhythm. I often see people either breathe up into the chest first, and I am a classic chest breather. Breathe out. Or I see them on an inhale, they'll suck the belly in. So all the air goes up here. And when they exhale, they push their belly out. Man, it's a shorter breath. Shorter breath in, shorter breath out. But when you inhale and you let the belly get big and the diaphragm go long, I could breathe here and then here. Now I'm going to breathe out and it starts to go down. I'm in my low lungs here. Now the belly button contracts. breathe in. We have length. We have flow. We have rhythm. Breathe out. We have letting go. Drawing back inward. Inhale. Oh yeah, and exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. If it feels good, close your eyes. And witness internally that belly expand on your inhalation. And the belly pull and draw inward on the exhalation. Be present with your breath and that natural rhythm of flow. If it seems really hard to make that belly expand on the inhale, just trust yourself. Continue to practice. Put your hand there. Be present. Your eyes were closed. Go ahead and open them. Breathe in with me. And then a deep sigh out. It's this ancient sound of manifestation, that that pleasure. Let's do one more. Yeah, your breath and a sustainable, satiating breath can actually give you pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Jules, Apothecary, walking medicine. Until the next time.